Greetings and salutations in service to the one. I am Amber Dawn Star, energetic activist, practical mystic, and for 34 years, master breathologist. Welcome to my community. Welcome back if you're new to my community. I am here today to bring through the differences between egoic mind and divine mind. Divine mind has to do with the truth of who and what you really are. Divine mind is the part of you that is divine, that has always been divine, that will continue to be divine throughout all your lifetimes, on all your timelines, right now. The egoic mind, the lower mind, is the mind usually based in our human personality. And that human personality usually has to do with our fears. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything new, but you know that the lower mind, the lower egoic mind, has to do with our everyday life and how we're experiencing it in the third dimension. Right now, in a couple of days, there will be a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, which rules the mind, and usually the monkey mind. Sorry. The practical monkey mind, that's what it rules. So that's coming on Thursday, the 10th of June, 2021. And it will be affecting, of course, everyone, because that's what solar eclipses do. They affect everyone. And usually it's things that are coming towards you from the outside. Lunar eclipses are about the inner. Solar eclipses are about the outer. So this time, this eclipse is about the Gemini mind and the practicality of the Gemini mind. And the lower egoic mind is ruled by Gemini. So that is the mind that is the one that usually is fear-based. This isn't new information, right? That is the mind that is always the one where you're never good enough, you've never done enough, you'll never be good enough. You got to keep chasing that carrot, whatever that carrot means to you, whether it's money, which is a lot of people's carrot, relationships, fame, family, whatever your carrot is that keeps you driven to get, and then you'll be happy. That's the lower mind. And I'm here to say that nothing you do and nothing you think and nothing you feel is the truth of who you are, because you are part of divine mind. And the divine mind is your connection to your soul, your higher self, through your heart and through your breath. Because every breath you take, if it's conscious and you're aware and you're present in this now moment, you will be in connection with your divine mind. And your divine mind is all about who you really are, what you really come from. It's the truth of your self, high self. You are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You are not your feelings. You are the energy behind all of those expressions. You are the power behind all of those egoic expressions. The personality is through the egoic mind. And ego is fine. It's good to have an ego. It's good to have that sense of self, of that sense of being and knowing and realizing, that you have some ideas and dreams and goals, and the ego mind helps you get there because it's your sense of yourself as a personality. There's a difference between the small self, the small s, which is the ego, and the large S, which is your high self and your soul. And the divine mind is about breathing in this now moment. Now, right now. Right now, right here and now. Because the ego usually is dealing either with the past or the future. A lot of times when you're stuck in your egoic mind, you are in depression about the past or you're in anxiety about the future. And neither one of those areas you have any control over. Either one. Past, gone, it's gone. It is gone. It's gone. There's nothing you can do about the past except hopefully get the lessons that were available to you in the past and learn those lessons so that you don't have to repeat them again, and allow yourself to become present. Because if you're depressed about what happened, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to forgive yourself. You've got to forgive the other people involved in your depression about the past. And believe me, I know all about that. I'm dealing with that in my own life, and I'm sure everybody is right now, because that's what this eclipse is bringing up. It's bringing up the mind and the monkey mind and the mind that's always blah, 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 and usually having to do with fear. If you're in anxiety, then you've moved out of the moment, you've moved out of your breath, your conscious holy breath, and you're living a fantasy in your mind about what's going to happen and when it's going to happen and who it's going to happen with and how it's going to look and how you're going to feel. And that's why it's called a fantasy. Because you never know exactly how it's going to turn out. You can set your intentions and you can set your values, and from your heart ask for what it is that you most desire. And those actions can have manifestation properties. They can. But if you start to worry about the future, if you start to worry about, OMG, how is this going to ever manifest? And believe me, the how is not up to you. The how is about Creator manifesting with your divine mind, with your divine part of you that is always going to be here. Not necessarily right here on this planet, but will always be alive. You are a soul having a human experience. You are eternal. That means you're not ever going to go anywhere other than changing your body clothes. What clothes you're going to wear this lifetime? Are you going to be a male? Are you going to be a female? Are you going to be black? Are you going to be white? Are you going to be rich? Are you going to be poor? Everything in between. That's what your lifetime to lifetime is about. But that all relates back to your divine mind. And the divine mind is your soul. That's your high self, your divine mind, which always knows exactly how it's going to happen, how you're going to manifest what it is you desire. And it brings about a sense of peace. So if you are radiating and living in your knowing and in your peace, then you will manifest what it is that you most want. Because the universe wants to give you what you want. The idea is that, are you ever satisfied once you get it? Are you really happy once you get it? Because a lot of people strive and work and rush and forget about every moment in between the idea and the manifestation of it. And when it happens, they're still not happy. Maybe for a minute, but not in the long run. They're not happy. Because your happiness doesn't depend on external sources. Your happiness depends on your connection and your alignment with Source, your soul, God, the higher power, creator, whatever term you want to use, it's all the same. It's all that energy. It is the one I am. So it's up to you to decide which mind you're living in. Are you living in the egoic mind, which is always in the future or in the past? You know exactly which mind you're living in. Or are you in the present moment with your breath, with your conscious holy breath, and you're breathing so that you know exactly in every moment which way to move? You know, because that's the alignment with your conscious holy breath and your divine mind. You will know. And it will bring you the peace and the joy that you feel that going out and doing all of this stuff is going to bring you. None of that is going to bring you your happiness and your joy and your peace, because you're putting it all outside of yourself. You're putting it on other people. You're putting it on your job. You're putting it on your relationships. You're putting it on how much money you have. You're putting it on the car you drive. None of that is viable for the truth of what you're doing here. You're a soul having a human experience, and the soul gathers experiences. That's what it does. And the more you can stay present in your presence with your breath, you will be walking the path of your divinity. Realizing that that is the truth. That is the whole truth of who and what you are and what you're doing. A spark of all that is, you are. A spark of God. That's what and who you are. That is the truth. And unfortunately, in the third dimension, we haven't really been given those tools. We have been denied those tools. We have been programmed to think that all the outer stuff is going to bring us happiness. And as you, I'm sure, know by now, there's a lot of people with a lot of money out there right now not happy. Not happy. So what is important now is to stay in alignment with your divine mind, to stay in alignment with what internally brings you joy. And if you breathe the conscious holy breath, you will know what brings you joy and what path to follow and what to listen to and what not to listen to, what to have in your environment and what not to have in your environment. Everything that you really want in your life, you will be able to manifest it when you stay in your divine mind and allowing whatever comes through your experiences. I know it's very challenging to stay in your divine mind, in your witness mind, which is part of that. It's very difficult, especially when things from the outer world are coming at you very quickly and ferociously, and you have no idea how to handle it. So, what I do and have been honored to do for over 34 years is the conscious holy breath, which allows you to stay present even when things are moving so fast all around you. It's the center of the cyclone. That's where you want to stay, especially now, especially in these times that are only going to get more intense. I'm sorry about that. If this is new news to you, I'm sorry that you didn't hear about this sooner. But that's the truth of the situation right now. We are at the beginning of the uncovering of all the truth that has been hidden for decades, for centuries. We're coming out of a 2100-year cycle from Pisces to Aquarius. So, in 2100 years, there's been a lot of stuff that got put under the rug, that got hidden, that got denied. Oh boy, denial. Whoa, whoa. Not just a river in Egypt, right? Denial is huge right now. And one of the things that this new moon solar eclipse is going to reset everyone's idea of what is real in their lives and what is unreal. There's a lot of fantasy going on and has been going on. And this new moon solar eclipse is going to bust open those fantasies because they're not sustainable. They're not long lasting. The egoic mind thinks that they are, even though your heart is like, oh, is this why I'm here? Is this really the reason that I'm on the planet, is to do this? Or hold on to this that happened in the past? If you have issues from the past with people, and those people that are from your past have come to you and acknowledged where they made mistakes, where they fell down, and have asked for your forgiveness, and you have given it, then you need to let it go. You need to let it go about ever bringing up that shite again. Because once you really have forgiven, then you don't have to bring up the past anymore. It's done. You've learned, hopefully, so that you don't have to do it again. Because if you find yourself doing the same thing over and over, that's the pattern that you want to change. And as Einstein said, that's the mark of insanity, is to keep doing the things over and over again that don't work and thinking there's going to be a different outcome. And that's Neptune, which is being squared woo-wee big time during this solar eclipse. So the higher mind of Neptune, of course, is your divinity, your ascension, your connection to source. You are seeing the big picture. You're coming from the big picture. You're staying in that alignment. Pisces, Neptune, that is the higher aspect. The lower aspect of Neptune is delusion and illusion, and doing the same thing over and over and over and getting the same result, but thinking you're going to somehow miraculously, it's going to be different. And I'm here to say from my own experience, it isn't. The sooner you get the lesson, the sooner you can let go of the past and move forward to the next lesson in this now moment. All of it happens right now. It doesn't happen tomorrow. It doesn't happen yesterday. It happens right now. So where are you holding on to your illusion? Where are you holding on to your egoic mind that has to be right? No matter what, you have to be right and the other person has to be wrong. That's ego. That's a big sign, blazing neon sign that you are on your egoic and in your egoic mind when you have those ideas and those thoughts and haven't learned the lesson. So you're going to repeat it. And one of the things that's happening in this new moon solar eclipse is a huge reset from all of those thoughts and ideas about yourself and about your egoic mind, and letting it go now. Letting it go now. Forgive yourself. And if you can really do this, if you can really step back and from your soul's level, forgive your human personality, forgive your egoic mind for all of the convolutions that it has gone through and taken you through and taken your body through. Oh my goodness. It would be one thing if the mind did all this on its own. But, unfortunately, the body gets to act out what the mind is going through. And that sucks for a lot of us. It's horrifying. So now it's your turn and my turn and the collective's turn to change that. To let go of the delusion, to let go of the illusion. And you'll know what I'm talking about in your life. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about in your life. You'll know if what you've been doing is a delusion, because you have to have it this way, has to be this way. That's ego. That's your egoic mind. When it has to be this way and there's no flexibility, there's none. I saw an incredible meme online with two circles. One circle is discipline, one circle is surrender, and in between where the circles meet is flow. So there has to be your energy to put in and forward to create and manifest what it is you desire. There also has to be your divine mind in knowing when to surrender to God and your higher self as how that's going to be created, because then the flow happens and you do start to manifest what it is that you most want. So this new moon solar eclipse is an opportunity to take a good, long, deep look at the patterns that no longer serve you. They might have for a little while. The lessons needed to be learned, but it's time now to look square in the eyes of your delusion and your illusion and say, you know what? I don't have to do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. If people in your past are still holding you in the past, and not even though they say they forgive you, every time something comes up that they don't like that you say and they drag you right back there, then they have not forgiven you and they are not being honest and they are coming from their ego and their egoic mind. True forgiveness comes from your heart in alignment with your divine mind. Every time. That's the truth of it. And if you're not coming from that place, then you'll see. And if others are not coming from that place, you'll see the minute something happens that they don't like, they don't want to hear, they don't want to acknowledge, they'll come back full force with all the crap from the past that you can't do anything about. And neither can they. But they want you to do something. And even if you've done it, it's still not good enough. If you've honestly, sincerely apologized and shown up and taken accountability and responsibility for your choices in the past, and you've really done that, then that's all you can do. You can't change the past. You can only be in this now moment, breathing and allowing and accepting and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. And really, right now, there's a lot of stuff in a lot of people's lives that don't serve them. But it takes courage. It takes strength. It takes a lot to stand in somebody else's fire and what they think and feel about you that isn't the truth. Might be subjectively in their ego mind the truth for them, but it's not the truth, because there's your truth and there's their truth and then there's the truth. And if you've approached your situations in your life with your heart open and your willingness to go through that, whatever it takes to stay 24/7, year after year after year, and you've shown up, and yeah, you've made mistakes and you've fallen down and you get back up, that's the truth. And if you've forgiven yourself, that's the truth. So, thank you for listening. And for this new moon solar eclipse, find out, what is your truth now? Now. Not past. Not what you'd like to be in the future. Right here and now. The truth from your divinity. From the part of you that is eternal. From the part of you that goes on and on and on and never ends. That part. So, I would like to thank you for joining me. If you believe that this content has sparked you and you would like to know more about the work that I'm honored to do as a master breathologist, then please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'm working on a website. I haven't quite got it there yet, but I'm almost there. And if anyone that has been following me for any length of time, which hasn't been very long, starting about last year, I think, or maybe a little sooner, a couple of years ago, but full on last year, you'll know that this is all new to me. It was all very scary to me, and it was all spirit orchestrated. Because I'm rather like, oh, I'll just stay in the background. That's fine with me. But not this time. Spirit is like, nope, you need to get out there and you need to speak the truth to the people that need to hear this now. And I know there's so many of you and me that need to hear the truth and walk in that truth and let everything else go. And that could be relationships that are very close and dear to you. That could be family, that can be friends, that can be ideas, that can be a lot of different things that you see that these people are still keeping you in the past. They say they haven't, but they have by their actions. So it's up to you to decide if you're going to keep allowing that. And for me, I'm not going to keep allowing that, because I know who I am. I know what I am. I know that I have done the best I could in my entire life, and I will continue to do so. And if that doesn't resonate for these people, then it's time to let them go. and trust and have faith. Because they are God, they will find their way. So thank you for joining me. Om Namah Shivaya, in Lakach, and Namaste. In Lakach, I am another yourself. Thank you, and we'll see each other again soon. Bye for now.